Aloha, Scott Sylvan Bell coming to you live from Maui. Yep, I'm in Ka'anapali. It is May 18, 2016, 9:35 in the morning. Perfect day to talk about sales, right? Any day, like perfect day to talk about. I got people doing parasail over there. I've got people on outriggers. I got people on stand-up paddle boards. Perfect day to talk about sales. Now, when it comes to sales, there's like three hierarchies, okay? There's all sorts of hybrids, but the main three are, lots of service, high price, different, or low price, less service, okay? Three. And you're like, but Scott, what about, well, there's other ones. Look, I get it. But realistically, there's three categories. High price, lots of service, different, low price, less service. And you're like, hey Scott, what does this have to do with my sales process? And I'm gonna let you know. So a lot of industries that I work within, there's all three of them, right? They got low price guy, Bobby on a bicycle as we like to call him, right? You got somebody who's a little bit different, you got high price services. And the statistics play out like this in this industry. That within 39 months, the average company will have closed their doors. They'll have an average revenue of less than $500,000 per year and have less than 3 employees if they go with the low price structure, okay? Now, the other guy's over here, this guy right here, if he goes with a higher price structure, the odds are stacked in his favor where he's gonna have a higher chance of keeping his doors open, and that number is gonna be higher related. It's closer to 7 to 8 years. So you're like, but Scott, what does that have to do with sales? Let me get to it. So when somebody goes in and they're like, I'm gonna give you like the most affordable thing, I'm gonna give you the cheapest thing, typically that person goes out of business. They typically do. Like, I mean, you look at the statistics of any business in the United States in the first 3 years, 90% of them fail. And it's usually because of pricing structures. If you don't have the right price to help out your client, you're gonna lose their long-term business. And what happens is a lot of salespeople go in and they run in, and it's really easy to talk about price. It's really easy to reduce price, because that's like the common denominator everybody has. Everybody can talk to you about price. I could go buy outriggers, like right, these things right, these boats right behind me that people paddle in, and you know what, I could go buy one. I could talk about price. I could go and there's a guy out there on a stand-up paddleboard. I can go and try to buy one talking about price. It doesn't matter what the product is. Let's see, I got sunglasses, I got blue blockers, I got these from Joe Sugarman, right? I can talk about price. I got my Ren Spooner Aloha shirt. I can talk about price. It's the one common denominator. But for you to distinguish yourself from your competition, you should be talking about longevity and service. And people are like, well, I can get it for less. Well, if you're looking for a long-term relationship, one of the challenges that you're gonna run into is that person's not charging enough money to be around. And that should really scare you. And a lot of times salespeople are scared to have this conversation because they don't know how to have it. And so it does take practice and effort on your part. It does take, the ability for you to talk things through. And I can't give them all to you from video. I'm gonna give you like the outline, and then you gotta fill in the blanks. But here's the conversation that I would have if you were one of my clients. Say, hey, look, you know what? I get that you are going to talk to XYZ companies, or you've talked to them and they're less priced, but I have a couple of concerns. Would you like me to share them with you? And you are probably gonna go, yep, I would like to share them with you. Share them with me. Okay, first off, if a company doesn't charge enough money, they can't be around for the long term. And I'm gonna pause for a couple seconds. I'm gonna let that sink in. And the person's gonna say, okay, well, why do you say that? Say, look, it's incredibly expensive to run an organization, to run a business, and if there's not enough money there, that long-term relationship isn't possible. That money that you're paying me, that you think is profit, is fuel for me to stay around and fuel for me to be in business. Now, these guys, they don't have this. They don't have that capability, and because they don't have that capability now, what you're gonna run into is in like 2 or 3 years, you're just not gonna have anybody to call, right? So you say you want long-term relationship, but right now you're saying you don't wanna pay for it, okay? I get that, sometimes when it comes to stuff, I don't wanna pay for it either, but at the same time, what's worse than, going out and buying something is having nobody there to help out and nobody to call, right? You gotta look at this is like a long-term relationship. If you wanna go with the one-night stand pricing, go with one-night stand pricing, that's cool, you can have it. You want long-term relationship or the marriage or the long-term pricing, you can go with me. You tell me which way you wanna go, right? And people are like, I've never really thought of it that way. And here's the thing, this sentence, this conversation, what we're doing right here doesn't close the deal by itself, but it does get the conversation going, and it does get that amount of like, hey, we need to have this conversation. We need to talk about what's going on. Sure, there's plenty of people out there who are willing to do it for a lower price, but there's a lot of challenges. Can I share them with you, right? And that question of like, can I share them with you? I'm a huge fan of buyers chasing me. I don't mind talking with people, but I would rather get them to like, yeah, tell me what's going on. I wanna know, right? Because at that point, I'm the expert. At that point, they're chasing after me going, hey, look, I wanna know what you know and why you know it. And they're asking me for it instead of me just giving it out. So there you go. You got 3 different types of pricing. You got low cost, which, in some industries that does count, but a lot of those companies end up going out of business real quick. You got something different, it's just something unusual, right? Or you got something that's typically higher priced with lots more service. So just think, if you were a buyer, which one do you want? Now, I do understand, when I got into sales, when I first started sales, I really struggled. I was buying pizza from pizza restaurants at the end of the all-you-can-eats. I've been there where price really does matter, right? Because I had no money. I had like $3 in my bank account after I paid for my rent. I had to figure out something to survive, okay? I collected cans and bottles. I made it happen. I did what I could. You know, they talk about the hustle, they talk about the grind. That's what I did to survive. I mean, it sucked. And price at that point in my life really did matter. I mean, I would look for the lowest price gas station. I was looking through the ads for like the cheapest groceries, because at that point in my life it mattered. Now, things are a little bit different, all right? So there you go, 3 different types of sales. Low price, different, high price service, okay? There you go. Now, if you could do a small favor for me, in the box down below, leave a comment, question, or story. That'd be fantastic. To the right or to the left, there's a subscribe button. The sun's starting to come out. You know what you gotta do? Subscribe, and then send it out to all your friends via StumbleUpon, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Why not even LinkedIn? Scott Sylvan Bell. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha.